You know what time it is, man. I'd have had to bring my brother Rob back for another episode, man. The people been wanting to know about your background.
Really?
They're like, man, what was Rob life like growing up, man? What was he? How was he moving out here, man?
Man, that's a beautiful question, a beautiful way to start this thing, man. Growing up, came from humble beginnings. Small town living, hard working. Father was an example of just doing what he supposed to do when it came to work, life. Had a grandmother, grandfather. So I had a traditional upbringing when it came to family and that dynamic. What it was, though, that always was, for me as a kid, man, I was always into something. Never really just wanted to sit still.
Yeah.
I was inquisitive, had questions, wanted to just be outside a lot and explore, because I felt like that was a part of my nature, man. It was just to seek and see something bigger for my life, because I understood at a young age where I was at. Even though my parents tried to hide like how poor we were at the time, I kind of understood that we didn't have enough, but they did a good job trying to mask it. But for me, I was like, there's always more to this, just this small town living. And
where did that vision come from? Because you know, a lot of people get stuck in their environments, man, especially when it ain't a lot going on.
Tell me about it. To this day, nothing has changed in that town for over 20 years. And I go back, and it's like, while we walk back into the city, it's like time just to stop. So where that came from, though, is I think, man, I'm just be honest with you, just having an imagination and something God given. I felt like at a young age that I spent time as being the youngest. I feel like you always spend a lot of time by yourself. And so in those spaces, I used to fill that time with just talking to what I felt like was the spirit. So a lot of times I went to church. I've been upbringing in the church, born and raised for 18 years, man. Mom had me up with her every Sunday, almost feel like every Sunday. And just starting to understand some things at an early age, that God is with you. And even if you don't know what to say, when you pray, just thank him. She always gave me that. No matter if you don't know what to say, know what to say to him, or you feel like you don't know how to reach him, just thank him. Just thank him for whatever you want to. And so just having that understanding, that's something I did a lot. Just thanking him for these moments, the memories, my family, the sisters I had, my brothers, just like being able to navigate that space. And that blessed me a lot, just to look at the world a different way. So it was very loving upbringing, man. Just like outside of that things, when you ain't have enough, you go to school, you see your clothes raggedy a little bit. You got the Fila's versus the Nikes. You got the old school joints. You want the new ones, but it didn't play out that way. So,
So your mother gave you the spiritual understanding.
Yeah.
So what about your father? What role did he play in?
Well, my pops, he showed up in the manner that where he showed up. It came to just like being an example. He didn't have his pops, so he struggled a lot to have these conversations. It's the typical what you see in America, where black men a lot don't have that guidance. So he did what he could, but without his knowing, he made a lot of mistakes, just like not having those conversations, when it comes to how to be a man, because he didn't know how to be a man. So I would watch him. Only thing I got from him is working hard, though. When it came to conversations about, how to further your mind, don't just settle for less, don't do these things. These are the principles which you watch yourself. He struggled with that because he didn't have that guidance either. And so as a result, early on, I kind of understood in my life that I'm gonna have to take the mantle of whatever he gave me and just move it and really grow that thing into something else, especially with that. So I had an understanding with your last name, it should mean something. So the last name he gave me, I had felt like I had a responsibility, because my last name is Outlaw, but the last thing is I'm the third. It's three of us. So even within that regard, I always felt like I want my name to mean something. And it's again, man, I feel like I was blessed with some level of just wanting more for my life than just settling for less, settling for what was given. And I never felt less than during those times. I always knew there was something more. And so I just really pulled from that aspect, man. So that's really what I felt like he gave me. He just gave me a better understanding of what hard work looked like, even though he lacks in some other areas.
So on the concept of breaking the chains, because
Talk about it.
When you went to the church, what was your, like, what, I know like the whole Christian concept though, but was there any point in your life when you was like, man, this don't feel right to me?
Oh yeah.
Like I need to like what y'all doing is like I understand I gotta like respect my parents and what y'all doing. When did that I gotta really set off and be my own man really come into play? And, you know,
I want to say about, man, early as age 12 or 13, you kind of start seeing some things in the church where it don't really add up. And what I mean by that is that you start noticing there are less men that are living these lives where they say that, you know, you can go out, we preaching the Bible, you saying these things are happening, supposed to be transforming your life, and you living by this word and testament. But where's the receipts?
mm-hmm.
Where is the work that you've done out in the world to show that this is manifesting in your life? I can't harness what David did being a man of faith if I don't see it in your life too. So why is that? Because you're not walking that path.
Mm-hmm.
What you're out here doing is just conflating or not being truthful to your word. You lying, you destroying homes. So I seen all of it in the church. I seen like a lot of just deceit taking place and versus being walking with that integrity or being that man when it comes to showing up. I saw one example early on. That was our first pastor I had, but beyond that, when he passed away, it was just chaotic. And so not having that example early on, man, it was just deflating to me. And so I want to fast forward to where we are today to know the difference of what that church and what that looks like. In the remnant, it's night and day, because what I see here is that I see the manifestation of every blessing and how this thing, when it comes to walking in this information, shows up in your life. What I mean by that is that if you're going to be a man about your word, you got to, everything in your life got to match.
Right.
It just can't be your life. You can say whatever you want. Don't have no repercussions for it. You have to show up that way too, as a man, because that's the important part. Because we just talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's access, because I believe that the Most High's word is attached to whatever you give him. He gave you his word. Why are you not giving him your word? You're gonna live this thing. So that's really what I be gaining from that.
So you said your first pastor or last pastor had passed away, and you said that caused devastation in the family.
The Munster Church, yeah, Munster congregation.
So was y'all close?
No, so it's funny. My grandmother actually, he actually lived with my grandmother for a period of time before he came to pastor, like 10 years. And so she knew him early on, and she saw some special things with him as a man. And he came from humble beginnings as well, but went through a problem when it came to drugs and fighting that and had that addiction, that battle. But he became to be a man of character, restoration. And what he really provided, he created a church. And at that time, the church was thriving for what she's seen. And so they had a close personal relationship, and we knew him. And so that was a beautiful experience. But like I said, after he passed away, it's kind of like all the headship and everything that was instilled was gone, because nobody was taking over the mantle like that. And everybody that came in, kind of superficial, not fulfilling, or not really able to fulfill that role that they were able to, that he did in the capacity which, you know, you're going to elevate and lead. So leadership was gone. And so by the time I got to be of age where it mattered to me, I want to say, you know, in that age where you were a man, or you're trying to become a man, at a teenage age like 12, 13, he was gone by that time. So I didn't get to have those conversations. I get to have that leadership with somebody else. So that was lacking.
So through all that, man, your father, you know, taking on different things from him, the pastor, what does manhood mean to you now?
Now, manhood means the world to me. What I mean by that is that finding manhood gave me purpose to my life, where like I thought it was just more about you be out in the world with indoctrination. You gonna go through these trials. Like early on in the church, you had this traditional sense of where you just supposed to go through it with somebody. That's whoever you engage to marry, you're gonna figure things out, go up and down. It's gonna be that, because there's no balance, right? You got order, but without that manhood, and you don't see it in the church, it's like, what do you look? So gaining it, being a man without having manhood, you was just going through it, getting whooped on, talking, just getting tossed to and fro when it comes to dealing with the aspects of how do I go about fixing this thing with this woman? How do I go about leading this? How do I go about, you know, leading the people around me, making an impact, things like that. You be just figuring it out. And then fast forward to the point where you start seeing some things, and you start learning from other men that you find in your life, getting manhood. Now it's about principles. Now it's about integrity and character. Now I wouldn't compromise anything, you know, to just give over myself to this certain thing. It's about showing up and being an example. So I wouldn't throw this away for nothing. And it makes me feel good because I know that whether it was everybody else around me that I have impact, they watch me for this.
Mm-hmm.
They're watching for that. And so being an example of what that looks like, taking on that responsibility in that role, that's empowering because it's been given from God. You know what I mean? That manhood comes from God. And I see the order of things, and I see how that can how it's transformed my life when it came to just anything I touched from that standpoint. Because I didn't get it until, I would say 30s. Really solidify that thing. And start enacting it and just applying it in every area of my life when it came to business, relationships, life, just how I went about anything, how I go about my daily habits, how I'm approaching this thing. And so that's the beauty of it. And knowing that it's tied to just the Most High, what He gives you, it's your center, it's your focal point. That's what manhood is to me. It's the focal point, the center of my being. So
That's powerful, man, especially elevating them principles.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think everybody can claim to be a man, but they don't have nothing like to back it up. Like them principles, and just having something to draw from.
That's right.
So it's more than just being, hey man, I'm 18, I got a job, I do this, but you're still a liar. That don't make you no man. You got all these different things, cheating, all this little stuff. It don't make you no man. So I'm glad you brought them principles and integrity to the forefront because that's what we live off of.
Yeah, because when you lie, I always tell people, like, when you don't live by principles and you lie, those are the things that those situations that you have self-inflicted trials, like Dre said all the time. Like when you lie, you lie to a woman, you're taking a choice away. And what happens when you take a choice away? She's gonna have a reaction to the point where, like, that's where your car get keyed, your windows get busted out, your tires get slashed, and you have to deal with those things, those worldly situations. But when you always honest, operating with that integrity, being upfront about who you are, where you coming from with it, now it's up to her. It's cool. She don't want to go with it. That's fine as well. Keep walking the path that you own.
Yeah.
Because that's the beauty in this thing, man. And it's funny that you brought that question up because it was really what really just hit me is that I've been having this thing where the Most High, I feel like I had a conversation one time with Dre, man. I just feel like the Most High, He starts trusting you with some things. And I got to a point where I told him, man, since I've been feeling like He's been bringing things to me. It's like, what does that mean, bringing things to you? I feel like He's bringing things to me to see that He can trust me with more. So the tests start coming where more things I never had in my life, just when it comes to you having to stand, like situations at work. You have to show up to be a man. Like, if something is rocky with the coworkers and there's a situation for you to handle, or either somebody didn't show up for work, period. You the only one there. That happened to me. What are you gonna do? You gonna complain about it? You gonna whine about it? You gonna cry? Or you gonna just or you gonna tell the Most High, I got this? And that's really what's been happening. I just said, I got it. And I say yes to Him every time because I know that's what it's there for. He's giving me more things because He wants to trust me with some things, importantly. That's how I feel about it. And it's been a beautiful revelation from that standpoint. Every time, I think Dre told me, he's like, at this point, He's just testing you to see if He wants you to say, if you're going to say yes every time. Because that's what his journey was, just to say yes, whatever it was, whatever it looked like. If it looked funny, you don't understand it right now, are you going to say yes? Yeah.
And I like that perspective too, because a lot of people also don't know they fall out of the favor with the Most High when you say, God, why me? God, why did you bring me this situation? Why do I have to be the one to stay? And they don't understand that once you do that, man, you already then separated yourself compared to you accepting it on. And like I say, that's what real manhood is. We run to the problems. Right. What is it? Because I got the solutions and the Most High, okay, how are we going to figure this out? So that's one thing we can definitely attest to. But I want to ask, man, because
talk to me, come on.
We be in this conquering thing, man. I love the Remy because we be talking about conquering around here. I don't think nobody talking about conquering like the way we come through talking about conquering. So once you receive the information, what would you say you can look back on and be like, what was your biggest conquering accomplishment?
It's a heavy one, man. I mean, you talking about post jump? Because this jump is the biggest thing.
Well, once you got here, like once you received the information, like you knew who your old self was. You was aware of that inner person you had to fight off. Because it's like this now. Like you looking at, okay, this is the information and this is who I was.
That's right.
So in the who you are now, what was that? Who did you have to conquer that was?
That's a powerful question. Elijah, let me see, man. So that old me, the conqueror that old me, man, just the way the old me was an individual that if a situation occurred, right, and it was something that was debilitating or difficult or that required a long level of endurance, he might have turned away from it. You know what I mean? Because what I was taught, or what the indoctrination taught me was like, you know what? That ain't coming the way I thought it was. It's too hard. I don't want to deal with that. I can switch to something else. You know what I mean? And then I started learning, like I said, as I got manhood and I got here, understanding that these things are purposeful. Everything that is being applied or given to you has a purpose behind it. It's either for you to conquer or learn from, right? Mm-hmm. But even more so, once you go through this thing, whatever you're going through, do the hard things first, like Joy said. That's where you build that character. That's where the growth occurs. Mm-hmm. You can't have it no other way. Doing the things that seem easy, doing the things that really just seem comfortable to you. There's no growth in that. Get uncomfortable. Go through the uncomfortable situations, because that's what that transformation is for. That's what God has given it to you for, because He sees you capable of it. And then if He sees you, like I said again, turning back on it, not saying yes to it, it's not that you already know what's going to occur, like you said. That could leave you broken, just like He did. Hey, He sees that, but He wants you to stand. So what is bigger than being given something from God? Nothing. I can't even tell you nothing. And so these things, like I said, these tests that He's been showing, or Him bringing me things, that is for me, that's powerful, because I can recognize and I know that's Him showing up for me. And so he has expectation for me now. So all I got to do is say yes and show up, be the man I'm supposed to be. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's powerful. So what do standing look like for the youngins who be like, man, what is standing? He talking about standing in some most high business.
Yeah, man, I don't want to throw too many words at y'all like that. But standing, it means when those times are hard. Let's say you lose your job out of the blue, man, and also let's say your lady leave you at the same time. Those moments is really what's going to define you, and that's when you either gonna have a choice to either get low on yourself, or either you could run. You can just run from the problem, not deal with it, get depressed, and you don't want that to happen in your life. So I said that's the time, the moments that the real man show up, because it's been given to you to see what you're gonna do. All right, it's been given. So are you gonna say, I don't want to deal with it, or are you gonna say, okay, let's go then. Let's go then, God. I see this. I'm gonna say yes to this. And so this situation, bring it to me. I can handle this. I'm big enough for it. It's not bigger than me. So you get on this path of just being able to navigate your way through it, standing, having a good attitude, maintaining who you are.
Most important.
Come on. Not just degrading the man or devaluing the man, but you just build yourself through that experience. Let it be a testimony for you. And that's the beauty in that thing, because that's what my mom says. There's no other place that it should go these days. And that's how I know if it's ever off from that path, it's deception, it's the enemy. If it looks like it's something foreign or difficult, I can't get through it. What is this? It's something new. Just because it's new don't mean it's stuff that you ain't done before. You know what I mean? You equipped within this information. You equipped. So that's what I want to say, man. That's what I mean when I say stand.
Yeah, and that's powerful, because a lot of people don't even understand, like, you got to get tested, and then the test is fire. You know what I'm saying? And the test is fire to see if you're going to be committed to this information and what He said you have to operate in, or it's a time for the double to see which one got the most power. Do Satan got the most power or the Most High? Within the situation that the Most High created. You know what I'm saying?
That's significant too. It's just like that.
It'd be crazy, man.
It's the spiritual warfare we in December prior to that. But Proverbs 3 and 5, it just brought it to my mind. Trust in, lean on, and be confident with all your heart and mind within the ways of the Most High. whatever God has for you. Don't trust in your understanding, trust in His, and then He will make your path plain and straight. That is like something that I rely on, and I'm really starting to see in real time because, like I said, everything might not make sense to you, don't always look right, you don't know what it is, but trust not in thy own understanding, but trust in His, and you're gonna navigate your way to some places you never thought was possible. Never thought was possible. Never saw coming. And that's the beauty in it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the beauty in it. It's never a dull moment. So when you're able to do that and rely on God, it leaves space open for you to actually operate as you were intended to do. And what I mean by that is that you're able to live life on a different level. You get to enjoy it. You get to have fun. You get to see the value of the beauty of having so much in your life, and everything starts looking like, oh, I'm in a place where I already got riches, even if I'm in a place that seems low. I got all this around me, this beauty, this family, this love, this grace, and this is what God has given me. So I can build off that. And so that puts you in a place where just like you attaching yourself to the word of the Most High, so to speak. And when that do, you feel like you got eternity to do these things. And so you ain't got to rush life. You get to play with it in a way. You get to have fun. You get to enjoy it, and you don't make moments pass. And you just really take it all in. And so that's the beauty in the thing. I wish people would really see when you get up in this information. You really see how it just release those chains on you, on your mind, on your thinking, on the way you see the world, because there's so much indoctrination going on within you, and you being controlled just by so many different vices in your life. And it's beautiful just to know that I'm not that old man no more. You know, I'm not that old man no more.
Yeah. So within the information, so what was the biggest thing you seen between Christianity and a remnant now?
The biggest thing between the two, where are your receipts? What makes you say that you know God in your life other than you just going to church every Sunday and you being there for a moment of time versus remnant life over here where we actually live in it? And I actually had a conversation with somebody about that one time, and it's like, you say you know God, but where is He showing up in your life when you get fearful over just going for things in your life that you're supposed to go for? Let's say you wanted a new job opportunity. Let's say you wanted just a better life of living, but you getting shackled down because you don't think you're good enough. That ain't of God. God didn't make you that way. You know, over here in the remnant, we taught that everything, your life gotta match your words, and your word gotta match your life. But even more importantly, you are a conqueror. So why are you getting conquered for 10 plus years in the same place, in the same position? You have no work or nothing to show for it. Why is that? And that hit close to home because I'm be honest with you, family, sometimes I see the same thing, nothing changes. And they say they got Jesus, they got Jesus to rely on, but what has that done for your life? And having those conversations, I'm like, really, really, I want them to think about that. What has that done for your life versus over here when you see us just be receiving the blessings of our history? This is our people over here. This is our ancestors. We come from, we don't forget it. We don't just stop at Jesus. We remember David, Joseph, Daniel, you know, Abraham. And we were able to draw strength from each and every one of those stories and each and one of those people that went through these things, because we see the math in it, we see the faith that they exuded, we see the power they were able to receive from the Most High because of those things. And I'll say this because David is one of my very personal favorites in the Bible, just because of the level of faith and reliance he had upon God. Did you know you ever read Psalms 18?
Psalms 18?
Psalms 18.
Oh, I probably skimmed through it.
Yeah. So Psalms 18, I don't mean to divert from the question or whatever, but Psalm 18, man, it's one of the coldest verses, one of the coldest chapters in the Bible that I've ever read. The reason is, if you go like verse 5 or 6, David was in a position where he had the enemy upon him, and he was in turmoil. So he cried out to God. He cried out to God in that moment. And in that moment, it details that God heard him cry, and he came down from heaven. It depicts it. He rode on a cherubim, which is like a storm cloud. came down, lightning shook the earth, dark clouds descended, and he wiped out his enemies. And so you mean to tell me God gonna come check on David like that?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gonna come check on me?
Mhm.
I'm like, that's a level of faith that I want to have.
Mhm.
So he can do that for me.
So in that aspect, if you say that, because you know, we also believe in, like you were saying, like receipts in your life that God has put you within a
Come on.
remnant. So can you go into beyond faith? What was that other demonstration for God to show up for a person like that?
Let me see. Do you mean that? Well, break that question down for me. Do you mean that what are the receipts that are happening in my life, or what is another example in the Bible?
Yeah, what other attributes do you believe? Because you know, you can say faith, and I think everybody can go off of faith and what faith is.
Yeah.
So could you like break down that other level, like other characteristics you think why might God have came down?
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you. What's your demonstration? I think faith is one aspect of it, but what else are you living it?
Mm-hmm.
Your reliance on God. You can say you have your faith, but what's your reliance on Him? Is your level of reliance to say that He's in control, or you still gonna put your hands on something?
Mm.
And I think that's what I said even with David. No matter what, he sought guidance from God before he made a move. Before he was impulsive, he looked for instruction.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't based on impulses. It was based on instruction from God. He worked for the word of the Most High. And when you do that, you value that. I feel like that's something special that God wants you to do. It's like we just had a class on, we didn't have a class on this, but we talked about vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, heavy.
Yeah, that level of having that understanding where vengeance is not mine, it's His. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the world, you don't get taught that.
Mm-hmm.
You get taught that I need to take this cat out because of what he's done to me, or I gotta get my get back. You know, I ain't no point. That's how we were raised. And so knowing that now that God, though, that vengeance is His, not yours, and understanding what that really looks like versus what it means in the world, saying that God is in control.
Mm-hmm.
That person that was brought to you, it was just brought to you to help you grow, to conquer,
Mm-hmm.
to not destroy. Let him do with that. You're gonna learn a lesson from that. So it's no longer you have to worry about and put energy within that individual to the point where I got to do this and that. No, I'm gonna operate with this submission and obedience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give it to God. He's gonna take care of everything because He's in control of it all. That's it.
Yeah, I like that, man. And I like how we want to end it off with this, how you broke down, you know, you developed leadership along the way.
That's right.
So Rob, in the position that you have, you know, understanding what manhood is, being back into your original culture, understanding what the remnant is and how God shows up for your ancestors and how He's also expected to show up for you. What would be Rob's leadership today?
Man, you be hitting me with these
What,
powerful ones.
what kind of leader is Rob today? God was like, man, I'm gonna let you govern. What would the people expect?
You can expect somebody that's going to be able to be a leader. Man, I want to go so many places with that. It's a good one. But a man of action and by example. I think that's the most powerful thing I could do, other than being saying that I'm going to say what I'm going to do and then don't do it. You know what I mean? I want to lead with my actions and my resolve. I want to show you that I'm resolved in this thing that you've given me, this mantle that you handed to me. I want to show you how much impact it means to me. So I'm gonna be leading with that aspect of just being able to show up as intended, as He wants for me, because I know my God gave me this, and this comes with expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, in addition to that, honestly, man, it's not showing no fear. It's showing up when called. It's supporting each and every person in this thing because we all are a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being a representation of His love that's manifested through me. That's really what I think I can do as a leader. What I know I can do.
I got to give Kabase his shout out because he did say each one of us is our own nation. So that's why that question posed the way it did. Because when you really elevate yourself up to that point, a nation is a group of people.
That's it.
So if you got your own set of nation, me, all the other brothers, you know, we all move a little different, but the characteristics and the foundation is the same, and all of our leadership is going to be different from each other.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I like that breakdown, man.
Wow.
See, I just want to let y'all know, man, that was Rob, man. Man,
Yes,
I got it, man.
Always
Powerful
a blessing
energy,
to
brother.
put my hand to the plow, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true, man. You got to, man.